Okay, fight fans and fight fiends, welcome back to Manny's Thoughts. I, of course, Manny MTL or Manny Montreal. Make sure to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and obviously, thefightcity.com. As usual, I will give you guys my thoughts on what's going down in the world of combat sports. Let's get started. Okay, so normally this is the part of the show where I give out congratulations. However, as you can tell by my demeanor, I don't have such luck. So instead, I'm going to give you a quick recap of my thoughts of the fight in DC. Now, before that, Berto Ortiz, who cares? And now on to the real fun. So DC was very cool, beautiful city, great people, nice places. I don't know what you gotta do to bring out the boxing fans. It's kind of unfair because Washington is in the finals, and for hockey that is. Obviously that's gonna hurt ticket sales a bit. That and the fact that they didn't have anyone from Philly or Baltimore or Maryland or Virginia or anywhere nearby fighting on the card. So it was basically just a room full of boxing fans, which is still kind of cool and very appreciated. Great crowd, the ones that were there. Whole truckload of Luce Bute people came down. Now, as you'll see from my footage and pictures, I had full access. I was in the locker room. I got to see it all before and after. So nervous during the fight. Still not entirely sure what happened. But before I get to that, I want to mention something. The Porky versus Chunky fight. You know, it's crazy to say this, but they fucked him. Now, I would have been okay with the 115-113. I could see somebody giving it to DeGale, because again, it was a close fight. But, you know, Porky really brought it. Medina's a bad dude. And, I don't know what the hell went on with the judges in that one. Porky won in my eyes. Look at DeGale's face, look at Porky's face. You know, I know it's a stupid comment to say, but it's the truth, you know. He was the aggressor. And personally, without being a jerk about it, he did a better job with DeGale than Bute did the first time around. So, that being said, my heart goes out to you, Porky. Here's hoping that you gain more fans after this loss, and that people get to know you for what you really are. Terrific fighter with nothing but heart. Just kept coming on DeGale. Just beautiful stuff. Honestly, I was impressed. And specifically because a lot of people were writing him off and talking about this being a two-rounder and stuff. So, good on you, Porky. Now as for the Bute-Jack fight. So, before the fight, he's warming up and whatnot. Everything looks cool. He's quiet. I know my place. I'm not going to say too much. I wanted to be like, you're going to fucking kill him. Go out there, get him. But, you know, I have to be happy with my position. I was just happy to be in the locker room, so who am I to say something to the champ? But I don't know. The crowd was behind him more so than Badu. He just got off to a late start. Those first couple rounds, I was sitting there like, what the fuck are you doing, Luchin? That's some real shit. Because I watched hours upon countless hours of this man sparring. And he was looking better and meaner and aggressive, and it was beautiful. And I was like, if he does this in the ring, we're coming back home with the belt. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. Started off cold. Plus, I had the fact that, you know, there was a couple low blows. Fucking elbows. Forearms to the face. But this goes back to my initial statement. You know, the ref could have done something. Sure, you could blame the ref. And sure, you could blame Badu for being a rough fighter. The truth is, Bute needed to be meaner. He should have took that low blow and thrown one back. He should have just not cared and thrown it all in the wind. He was ready to fly. If he would have just opened his wings, he would have soared. But he never fully put out his wings. Never got to that point where he could soar. So in the end, all we got to see was another draw. Now, a lot of people are complaining about the draw. I'll say this. I had him losing. And I'm happy they gave him the draw. Because I had him winning against the Gale and they gave him the loss. And they could have gave him the draw on that one. Back to the drawing board. Not all is lost. This draw actually just prolongs things. Believe it or not, I truly believe that Lucha Mbute's had the hardest comeback in history. This is insane. That fight with the Gale and now this draw. Unbelievable to say this, but this guy's going to get a third crack at a belt. Now, they're already talking about Badu Jack facing the Gale. And personally, I would rather one of them face Bute first. With a proper training camp, by the way. Because this was a last minute kind of thing. Just want to mention that to people who forget that this was supposed to be Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. But it is what it is. So, maybe another mandatory. And the winner of the Gale Jack. Hell, even the loser of the Gale Jack. And then the winner. He's 36, but his dance card's full. And all things considered, he can't really complain. He put on a performance that was worthy of his stature. He could have done a bit more. And that's the truth. I don't care what anyone says, anyone that thinks they know. I know for a fact he is capable of much better than that. And if we ever get the opportunity to put that guy in the ring, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have fireworks and a champion back home. Lucha Bute, man, my heart breaks for you. But, all things considered, it could have been worse. There's dudes dying and getting hurt every day in this sport. There's dudes getting robbed. And then there's dudes getting their careers ended. Now, if all three judges would have scored that 117-111 or 117-112, you know, Bute would have had a hard rest of his career. But now the door's still open. The crack got smaller, but the door's still open. I still got faith in my man Lucha. He's just got to bring out the real Lucha Bute. You guys haven't seen it yet, and I'm sorry you haven't. But I'm telling you, he's out there, and he's fucking dangerous. Here's hoping the third time's the charm. Lucha Bute, man. I'm with you to the end. You're such a good dude. Montreal over everybody, man. Montreal over everybody. This leads me to what's going on thefightcity.com in and around the island this weekend. Going down right outside of Montreal in Kanawake, K-Town. Make sure you go support Fight Quest 35 going down at the Knights of Columbus. $30 to $45 for your tickets. These guys have been putting on MMA shows for years. It's a fantastic outfit and they put on great events, great matchups. If you're into MMA and you're in the Montreal area, then you know what to do. Okay, last but not least, what to watch and when to watch it when it comes to fighting. Friday at 6 a.m. you might want to set your DVR. One championship is going down. You may be able to catch a replay on the Fight Network. Then on Saturday night, the big one, Canelo Khan is going down. A lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about this fight. However, if you look at the undercard, which is what I strongly suggest everyone always does, it is a beautiful card and worth every dollar. So first off, you got Patrick Textarian, who's 26-0 with 22 KO. Then you got Diego De La Hoya, who's 13-0. Lamont Roach Jr., who's 10-0. You got Jason Quigley, who's also 10-0, taking on James De La Rosa. Which leads me to the next interesting fight, Tapia versus Lemieux. Now, what's interesting about this is that De La Rosa and Lemieux were supposed to show down and face each other in Montreal, but some way, somehow, Lemieux didn't make weight, and now, voila, 6 weeks later, they're both on the Khan-Canelo card. Call it what it is, but it is a great card of boxing, so make sure you guys check that out. Now, also on the card, Moreira versus Gomez, and then obviously the main event, Canelo Khan. Just a terrific night of fights from HBO. Make sure you guys check it out. Last but not least, UFC Fight Night 87 is going down, and as usual, they have a stacked free card for you guys to watch before the actual final. So you're gonna have to switch between TSN and Fight Network, but it'll be worth it. It is a great night of fights from the UFC. The return of Gunnar Nelson, Steven Struve versus Bigfoot Silva, and last but not least, Andrei Arlovski versus Overeem. Just a stacked card. Guaranteed knockouts in this one. Guaranteed big fights in this one. You can't count Arlovski out. It's always the same thing with him. Just when you think he's out, he pulls himself back in. So a great weekend of fights overall for us to look forward to. That's it for me. It's been an interesting week. Like, share, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. I'll see you guys next week.